Yo, what is good, guys? It's the Pickle Place, back today with a new video, and today I've got a couple of topics that I would like to discuss with you guys. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the current situation politically between the US and North Korea and what I think of it, as well as what's actually going on, because there seems to be some misconceptions as to what that whole situation is. And then for the second part of the video, I just want to drop down to a much lighter note and give my personal review and opinions on Call of Duty World War II based on what I've done in the game so far. In case you're wondering what that is, I am about to enter the first Prestige, and I'll give it away now. I do enjoy the game. I think I'm doing pretty well in it. A little bit of a slow start, but since Modern Warfare 3 at least is probably the best I've done in a COD game. Sorry if that gives away the review, but if you want to see my full opinion, the pros and cons of this game, in my opinion, please do stick around to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Also, before we officially start, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Brian. He asked for a shout out after seeing my last video. He's a good friend of mine, nice at basketball, and yeah, shout out to him. So first, the current, quote, conflict, unquote, between the US and North Korea. So what made me want to talk about this is, I don't know if you guys saw, I'll put it up on the screen now, with Donald Trump, the best president ever. I tweeted out last night about Kim Jong-un. It's pretty hilarious. I didn't think it was real at first, but that's why I just fucking love this guy. I'll put it up right now. You can see, yeah, pretty funny. Called him short and fat. So I just wanted to quickly cover some misconceptions that people seem to have about this. It's all talk. I just want to get that out of the way. It's really all talk. There's not much actually being done. This is basically Cold War Part 2, but instead of Russia, it's North Korea. Something could definitely arise from this, but it's really unlikely because these are two superpower countries. One, North Korea, being insanely secluded from the rest of society. North Korea would have no allies with them if they were to go into any type of war, whether that be a global thermonuclear war that lasts a day because we just wipe each other out, which that's very possible, just not likely. They would have no support, and they would definitely be teamed up on by the US and their allies, which is kind of, sort of half the world. So it'd be a little bit difficult for them to really get anything done if they were to go to war. So I want to just clear that up. It should be all talk. I doubt there's really going to be a World War III that arises unless Kim Jong fuckface actually figures out how to run a country. But yeah, I'll give my honest opinion on this. I think it's all BS. The US really isn't all talk, but that's what we're doing here. We're just talking, trash talking really, nothing too serious, just messing with North Korea, toying with their entire country really. That's no offense to North Koreans. I feel bad. Like, I just want to put that, if you're in North Korea, you're fucking completely brainwashed. You have like no thinking of your own. It really does suck. I'm very sorry for anyone who happens to live there. Not that you'd be seeing this, because they banned YouTube and all outside media. As for North Korea themselves, again, they probably aren't going to be able to do anything. We've heard they've tried to launch missiles, not at us, but towards us to say, hey, we can do this, and they've all failed. They've all, like, fallen right in front of China, or near China. And if they somehow get one closer to China, which I'm predicting could actually happen pretty soon if they keep trying to show off that they have missiles. I mean, first of all, hey, good for you, you have missiles, so does a good amount of superpower countries. But seriously, if they get too close to China with these test missiles, China's going to get a little bit pissed off and say, can you stop dropping bombs near us? And then if they say, no, we do what we want, I mean, China and North Korea go to a slight war, it'll last a few days. China's got, like, quadruple the population of North Korea. Alright, that's kind of an inaccurate stat. It might be more or less. I really don't know how many people live in North Korea. If China was to really get pissed off at North Korea, they could probably wipe them out in a few days, really. It wouldn't be that difficult. Not that North Korea is not a strong country. They're like, people actually live there, and they have a strong military. They have bombs and whatever. But China would just fuck them up. Any of you guys who actually have worries about World War III starting with North Korea, I don't really see that happening. We're more likely to go to war with fucking Canada. And yeah, that is sarcasm. There's probably not going to be a World War III for a little while. Or at least I hope. Maybe I'm completely wrong and we're actually going to fucking go to war with Czechoslovakia. I don't know, dude. I doubt that, but who knows? But yeah, to just clear that up, I doubt there's really an issue between the US and North Korea that can't be resolved over a cup of coffee. Hopefully Kim Jong-un's poisoned and the guy just fucking dies. I'm a little mean, but I don't like that guy. Just a big pink douchebag, really. So anyway, on to the much lighter portion of this video. I want to give my quick review on World War II, Call of Duty World War II, that is. So I'm going to break it down into a few categories. Graphics, And gameplay, within gameplay I'm talking campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. Accessibility, meaning how easy it is to pick up the game and play it, which includes the easiness of the controls, which you guys can guess it's a Call of Duty game. You probably know what I'm going to say. And also how long the game takes to install on average based on console. Things like that. It's a pretty basic trait that most games have down. And durability. By durability, I can't really think of a better word. I just mean how good I think the game will be over a period of time. That's really guessing off of that there will be no major updates that either break or even completely fix a portion of the game. And also how likely the average gamer is to come back and play the game on a daily basis, or give or take a few hours off that. So first up, graphics. This is pretty easy for me to say. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'll say on the graphics. The campaign graphics are absolutely stunning. It's unbelievable how good the campaign graphics are in this game, especially for the first mission. You see the scenery and the cinematics are just phenomenal. They did a great job there. As you go into multiplayer, the graphics aren't great, but that's only because they can only be so great when you also have up to 11 other people working on one tiny server. It's not really easy to produce great graphics in a multiplayer. They are definitely good though. And as for zombies, the graphics themselves aren't great, but the color palette and the tone based on the way that the game visually appears, as well as auditorily. I just want to point that out. That's not one of the categories, but the game sounds great. But yeah, zombies specifically, the game actually looks scary. The zombies mode is quite dark and pretty intimidating with the way that they've designed the zombies. Gotta give them credit there. So an 8.5 out of 10 on the graphics. Good job on that. Gameplay. So here's where the real meat of the review is. As for the campaign, I have not finished it, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for the campaign gameplay. It's pretty smooth, obviously. It's nothing phenomenal. It's not on the level of the Black Ops or Modern Warfare series. It's pretty good considering it looks to be a standalone Call of Duty game for the most part. It's not bad. It's pretty good. The character development's there. It doesn't have to be. It's not great, but it's definitely there. So it's an above average campaign, I think. It's pretty alright for a Call of Duty game. 8 out of 10. As for the multiplayer gameplay, I'm afraid to rate it as high as I want to, so I legitimately want to give it a 9.5 out of 10, but that's probably too high, so I'm going to stick with a 9 out of 10 on the multiplayer gameplay. This game has the best Call of Duty multiplayer I've felt since, as I said earlier, probably since Modern Warfare 3. Not because I'm good at it, because the hit detection is right. It really hasn't been for the past few years. The hit detection is good. It reminds me a lot of Black Ops 2. But hit detection's smooth. The latency is not really an issue. I haven't really experienced more than maybe 2 or 3 host migrations. The game's been out for about a week and a half now, so that's great. That's definitely not an issue. And the weapons and abilities are pretty balanced, I'd say. I like the new perk system with the little banners that you can really only carry one at a time. That's interesting. It doesn't seem like there's any guns that are better than one. And I also like how, so far, I know that this could be changed, cosmetics don't do much other than give a different skin and an XP boost. That XP boost part is great. It reminds me a lot of COD Online, which I sadly have not been able to play, but I've seen a lot. And I really do think that Activision listened to the fans, and they said, you know what, people like COD Online, people want boots on the ground, we can probably put that in, we can work that. And that's kind of what they did here. The game supply drop system is very reminiscent of COD Online, and it should be changed a little bit within the next few weeks, next few months. Might become terrible like Advanced Warfare's and Black Ops 3's was. Jesus Christ, that's a mess. But hopefully it doesn't. Right now I'm confident that the supply drop system and the rest of the multiplayer system will stay pretty good and not be changed around too much. Zombies is going to get the same rating. It deserves a 9.5 out of 10, but I'm not afraid to. It's a matter of it's too easy. It's only the first map. It reminds me of Shadows of Evil. It's fun, but it's not hard. The Easter egg is ridiculously easy. And my main issue is, I've done the easy Easter egg. It took me about an hour. Like, that's too short. Come on, guys. But not only is it short and easy, but the harder version of the Easter egg doesn't really give you a reward, from my knowledge. You just might feel better. You might record yourself doing it, getting all the discs or the records or whatever you got to do there. It sounds pretty stupid. But you don't get a different reward. You get the zombie helmet for multiplayer, and you get the equivalent of the summoning key, I think. That's basically what it is. For actual gameplay, though, it's definitely not bad. It's pretty easy, but I know that a lot of the hardcore zombies YouTubers and players definitely like this because it takes a lot of weight off their shoulders. So based on just this first map, as the newer maps come out, I will be getting the season pass. I'll go over them and I'll say what I think of each of them because they'll probably get progressively harder, I'd have to imagine. So I mean, yeah, 9 out of 10 for the zombies as well. So overall the gameplay for me gets an 8.75 out of 10. And that's going to be close to the overall rating of the game, I'll say it now, because gameplay is the meat of every video game. As for the accessibility of the game, which has to do with the controls, how easy it is to get used to the game, and how fast the game downloads on average based on capacity or size and gigs, it's a 9.5 out of 10, really a 10 out of 10, yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. The Call of Duty games have always been very easy to get used to. The controls are not complicated whatsoever. And for me on an Xbox One S, with a pretty decent amount of storage space left, it took about an hour to install maybe, which I'm not too mad about. And I haven't sat down and played Call of Duty in a while. I skipped Infinite Warfare, barely played Modern Warfare Remastered, barely even played Black Ops 2 Advanced Warfare all that much. Haven't really played for a long period of time like I am with World War II since Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3. I was able to pick the game up and just instantly get used to it without having to even go back. So Call of Duty does that really well. That's one thing that they're at least very consistent with. So that's a 10 out of 10 on the accessibility. I mean, I would say great job. We don't have to do much. They've had that down for the past few years, really. And now for the durability or replayability, I'm going to give the game a solid 9.5 out of 10 because you actually have things to work towards. Not just like prestige tokens and supply drops and things like that, but something about this year, hitting prestige just feels really good. Having that thing to grind to, because you have a goal. Once you get to master prestige, you can get to master prestige level 1000. I think that's how, not sure about Infinite Warfare, I know that that's how Black Ops 3 did it with zombies as well. Once you hit master prestige, you can go to master prestige level 1000, which, I mean, that's a goal you're going to grind to. It's like how NBA 2K18 has the road to 99. Shout out to that one douchebag that actually hit it and his body's like fucking failing now. But I mean, just having something to grind to in a video game in a multiplayer scenario is like really, really good. So that's a 9.5 out of 10 because you actually have a reason to come back and spend money on supply drops because you get addicted to supply drops. I mean, that's just how Call of Duty works. I'm kidding. But yeah, you actually have goals in this game. It's legitimately fun to play. So yeah, the replayability value is quite high, I'd say, on this game. So overall, the game is about an 8.75 or even a 9 out of 10, which I'm so happy to say that Call of Duty is finally looking like it might actually be good again. And this completely goes against, I don't know, this one website, alright? I saw this one website, and they were dissing it, saying it's the worst Call of Duty to date. I do not believe that. It hasn't had a bad launch. The first day kind of sucked, but that was understandable. They cleaned it up within a few hours of launch. So, I mean, really, this seems like it's Call of Duty returning to its roots. A fun, somewhat chaotic, good-looking, easy to learn, easy to play, and fun to play game. I mean, there's not really much more you can ask for. And like I said, they're trying to, at least to some extent, put in elements of COD Online into a modern American Call of Duty game, because COD Online is only available in parts of China, if I'm correct. So I mean, we're probably not going to get that game there, or excuse me, get that game here in the US for a while. But to have a good game in the States that is somewhat reminiscent of that, I mean, it's really great to just see Call of Duty actually listening to their fans. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you guys for all the feedback on my last video. Please do like, comment, subscribe below, and do let me know if you have any questions, comments, queries, concerns, or conundrums in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. This is the Pickle Please signing off. Peace.